They're taking the jam from my donut again. What does that even mean? They're taking the jam from my donut. We're allowing situations to make us really upset, like somebody stealing the jam from your donut. So how can we stop this? How can we stop situations and people from making us feel like they're stealing the best part of the donut, the jam? How can we stop this? By taking charge of our emotions. So before I go into this any further, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon that will notify you of when I'm posting, which is generally every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And as always with all of my videos, I really, really hope that you get some value or a lot of value out of this. And that's the whole reason for me doing this and showing up and just making you think slightly differently and yeah, just giving you a different kind of perspective on things. So yeah. So back to, they're taking the jam from my donut, which literally means something or someone is making me upset or making you upset. And they're taking the best bit of a situation and they're stealing it from you. And that's what we allow when we don't take charge of our emotions. So I'm going to just give you some real, very, very simple scenarios of how you can take charge of your emotions to stop somebody or a situation from taking the jam out of your donut. Okay, so this particular scenario is a person is on a date, a blind date, they're in a restaurant and the date hasn't shown up. And it's 30 minutes after they were supposed to have shown up. There's no message on the phone. So they've been sat there twiddling their thumbs and feeling pretty stupid. And that negative mindset and that ego is kicking in more and more and more, and basically telling them that they've been stood up, that they are not worthy of being on update, that the person showed up and saw how they looked and left. And you can imagine that just recreating and getting worse and worse and worse. You should never have gone on the date in the first place. Who do you think you are? You're not worthy of being on a date. You're not worthy of anybody wanting to love you or to like you. And that just then kind of skyrockets out of control. And by the time they've got home and gone to bed with still no word from, they're literally tossing and turning all night, absolutely feeling dreadful about themselves. Or why not put a positive assumption on it? So again, let's use the same scenario. So you're in a restaurant, it could be a boy or a girl that's sat in the restaurant waiting for a boy or a girl. And they look at their watch, person is 30 minutes late, they're sat there twiddling their thumbs, and now they're starting to think differently. They're starting to put a different assumption on it. And remember, I've spoken about assumptions in my videos before. An assumption is something that is proven, that is proven to be, that is true without any proof. An assumption is a thing that is true without any proof. Hope that made sense. So basically what we're doing is we're just changing the way our mind's working. So rather than thinking negative, we're going to think positive. So 30 minutes late, what are you going to start thinking? Well, there's no message on the phone. I hope they're okay. I hope that they're not stuck in traffic, or I hope that, they, maybe their boss made them work late. Maybe their phone battery died, maybe, whatever. But it's everything except about you, except about there being something wrong with you as to the reason why they haven't shown up. And, you can also assume that, they've been really communicative and I know that they're going to call me, or I know that they're going to message me. I know that I will hear from them again because, that's my assumption. Then by the time you get home, lo and behold, you're feeling good about yourself. Stuff happens, you hope the other person is okay, and then you get a message from the other person saying absolutely awfully sorry, blah 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 blah, I'd really like to make it up to you, and it will be my treat when we can get together again, something like that. So you go to bed sleeping particularly well, knowing that it was nothing to do with you. So there's two different scenarios there, just by tweaking the mindset to create more of a positive outcome rather than a negative about yourself. So another scenario, very, very quickly, imagine you're in a cinema queue and you've been queuing for quite a long time, and you get to the front of the queue only to be told that the film that you want to see is now sold out. So again, with a negative assumption, a negative mindset, you could automatically think, well, this is just typical. These things always happen to me. I never get to do the things that I want to do. Something always gets in the way. There's always an obstacle. And you literally, you could go home, you could get in the car and then the car won't start, or you get home and you realize you've lost your mobile phone, you know, whatever, because you've got that negative mindset, and that kind of triggers more negative things to happen to you. Or you could look at it going, well, I wasn't too sure about the film anyway, can go and see that another time because it's only just come out. There's a restaurant that I would really, really like to go to. So yeah, why don't we do that instead? And then we'll have a look at when we can go and see the film another time. And you still have an amazing time out. So why not think positively and put positive assumptions on things? So this is how you can stop allowing situations or people to steal the jam out of your donut, by taking charge of your emotions. Again, it comes back to being responsible for your emotions, taking charge of your emotions, changing the mindset, putting a positive assumption to things for you to then still feel good about yourself. Ta-da! So anyway, I really hope that's helped. Taking charge of your emotions, put positive assumptions to things, and you will feel so much better about yourself. There's also something that we can do is about mental diets, but we'll go into that in another video. So I really hope you found that helpful. I really enjoyed sharing that with you. And if you want to know where that quote comes from, I think it's the film Snatch. So yeah, taking the jam out of my donut. So anyway, take care. And yeah, as always, feel free to comment, and I will see you soon.